What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Inside the Five. It's Griff.
Of
Well,
And on this episode, we're going to be covering all things week 4, meaning spreads, over-unders for each game, as well as our locks of the week. What do we say, guys?
let's do it.
let's do it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Before we do get into week 4, we do have one more game left over that we haven't covered from week 3. That is Monday Night Football. Actually, a pretty good game, in my opinion, as we saw the greatest quarterback of all time, Cooper Rush, lead his squad into MetLife Stadium and take it over against the undefeated New York Football Giants. Opening reactions, I know we see this in the notes right now. Cooper Rush, Jerry Jones loves him. Could this be an actual quarterback battle when Dak comes back, Stoff?
No, just because they're paying Dak Prescott way too much money to be their backup. But Cooper Rush has done his job. It's kind of like how we're comparing the situation, what's happening in Cleveland. Like Cooper Rush is a guy who's going to get the job done, and you got to surround him with good pieces, and he's going to lead you to be put in a successful situation. He's not going to win you games with his throwing 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, but he's also not going to lose you the game because he's playing conservative. Tony Pollard and Zeke both had good games. I like Cooper Rush, though. I think that he's a solid backup in the NFL, and he's doing his job, and the Cowboys should be happy.
I agree. I mean, Cooper Rush, in my opinion, right now, he's looked better than Dak, so I feel like the comments there about that definitely have to be there because, he was slinging the ball on Monday Night Football, and I absolutely loved it. It was very entertaining. I love the way he plays. I think he has good connections with the wide receivers on the team. I don't see why they wouldn't possibly maybe suggest the idea or maybe even trade Dak, something along those lines. Obviously, I don't know how smart that would be, but I feel like they can kind of flirt with the idea of some things.
It's kind of like a touchy subject, especially because we don't know that much about Cooper Rush. He was on the practice squad, I want to say, even last year. And you're right, Will. He has a great connection with the wide receivers because going from wideout to wideout, starting off, how could you not have a good connection with CeeDee Lamb? He had a couple of drops on Monday night, but you know what he's going to do, and he had a pretty good game. He had 8 grabs for 87 yards, threw in a touchdown as well on a great grab. That was awesome. And then what I do love from this Cowboys team when Cooper Rush is their starting quarterback is his connection with Noah Brown. Those are two guys that were on the practice squad together. So, my guess 100% is when Noah Brown was on the practice squad, he was wide receiver 1 on that practice squad, and Cooper Rush was his quarterback. So they know each other very well, and it shows during these games. And these are two guys that could play in the NFL, and they're showing it right now. So that connection has been fun to watch for a couple of weeks. Going on to the Giants side, a team that started 2-0, we saw a tough injury from Sterling Shepard on, it was insane when he kind of slowed down at the end of a play, and I think he was just, as he was slowing down, kind of extended his knee too far, ended up with a torn ACL. He'll be out for the season. MetLife Stadium is like the field of death. I feel like everybody gets hurt there. There's a few fields, obviously. Chicago is like that as well, and then there's
Washington.
one more. Yes, Washington, definitely Washington. But the biggest bright spot on this team, obviously, he only had 81 yards this game, but wasn't too bad at all, was Saquon Barkley. It's just kind of tough watching him go out there. We've been watching it for a couple of years now, watching him go out there, play for the Giants, and the Giants just not being good. Daniel Jones didn't look too good at all, in my opinion, and that Dallas defense is pretty good.
Yeah,
That's about all I got for this game.
The pass rush is awesome. I know before we move on to the very exciting week 4, I just wanted to say how good DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons are. Like, they're absolute game wreckers. I remember that one play where they did a stunt where Micah Parsons stunted inside, absolutely destroyed the right guard and got right into the face of Daniel Jones. That was awesome. And he does that so often, and you can't really see every single time when a pass rusher is dominant and doesn't get sacks. But I feel like every single play he's getting pressure. Same thing with DeMarcus Lawrence. I think Lawrence ended up having 3 sacks. Evan Neal could not block him. I think he's a rookie. This is a welcome to the NFL. Welcome to the NFL, buddy. You just got absolutely torched on Monday Night Football with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman calling you out on it basically every time that you did it.
There was also a stat that came up right before. I think it was like after their first sack of the night. It was like the Dallas Cowboys have the most sacks in the league with like 13 sacks through 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do lead. I know for a fact that they lead the NFL in sacks so far, and I want to say it's like 13, right?
They had 13 at the beginning of Monday night, or 12 or 13 before the first sack.
Yeah, I mean, so that defense has been rolling. It's been pretty good. Diggs, I mean, got burnt a few times, ended the game with a pick, though. So, I mean, that's just classic Trayvon Diggs. The last thing I want to say, and then we'll move on to a very, very exciting slate, as you said, Stav. At halftime, Joe Buck was in the booth with Jimmy Kimmel, who, like, stopped by. And I don't know if you guys saw any of this, but Jimmy Kimmel was just saying stuff that, like, made Joe Buck so uncomfortable. And then at the end of it, I don't think it was supposed to be the end of it. Joe Buck like made a joke, and Jimmy Kimmel was like on TV on ESPN. Jimmy Kimmel was like, "Oh, so that's why they kicked you off Fox."
I didn't see that
Joe
part.
Buck was like, "We can't make Fox jokes." That I swear happened. I can't believe it wasn't on like Twitter or anything. But when I saw it, I was in shock. Like that is like an announcer's nightmare for a comedian to come into the booth and say something like that. He was literally like, and then he was like, so why did you move from Fox? And Joe Buck was like, yeah, like we can't talk about that right now. But yeah, I think that was my favorite part of Monday Night Football, but I think we'll have a lot more excitement this week, and we're getting it started on Thursday night. We have a very, very good game. It's the Dolphins going into Cincinnati against the 1-2 Bengals. Stav, I'll let you get this started. You got the Burrow jersey behind you.
Yep.
Let's hear.
All right. The Bengals are debuting their all white uniforms. You know, this concept has been leaked, and it's been like an idea for, I think, forever. And a 3-0 Dolphins team, a team that came off of a huge win against Buffalo, off a short week against a fully healthy Cincinnati Bengals team, I think, as of right now. I love the Bengals here. The Bengals are favored by 3.5 points. I'm going to take them with the points. And I love the Bengals. I mean, I think they're going to bounce back, get back to 500, and the Dolphins eventually have to lose, right? Might as well be on a Thursday night.
I feel like this is such a trap game for the Dolphins, especially Jersey. You know how we are as a podcast. We always root for the Jersey side in games that we don't have, I guess, a favor in with one of our teams. So, I mean, how can you not want to see the Bengals win in the all-white jerseys? I'm also going to take the Bengals minus 3.5.
All right, this is a game that I'm tough about. I had it written down as my lock of the week, but I have since then taken it off. And I like the Dolphins, but you're right, this is a trap. I'm still liking the Dolphins. I'm not liking them as much as a lock of the week, but I'm going to take the Dolphins in this game. I think that at 3-0, Tua has been exceptional, and it's definitely been because he's just giving it to his playmakers, which is what we say about all of these quarterbacks who not subpar, not average, a bit above average, kind of like a Kirk Cousins type where we're just like, get it to Jettas, get it to Dalvin Cook. Tua's listening, and Tua's doing his job. Tua's a winner. This is going to be a great game on Thursday night. I like the Dolphins, so obviously I would like them +4 or +3.5. At the over under 47, I'm going to like the over as well. I think this is a game where a lot of points get scored, even though it's two good defenses. I think that Joe Burrow finally comes in and puts up some points on the board. So I'm going to take the over here at 47.
And Griff, I'm sorry, I missed. Did you say that you are taking the Dolphins with the points here?
Dolphins with the points.
All right, I also forgot to say over. My bad. The over.
Yeah, I also forgot to say so. I'm going over as well. Okay, so the next game on the slate is we're going across the pond, boys. You know, luckily for the people of London, they get to see two premier quarterbacks in Kirk Cousins go up against Jameis Winston. The Vikings are favored by 3 points here.
For a reason.
I'm going to take them. And I'm also going to take the under in this game. You know, you have to think the over-under set at 47. I'm sorry, it's 43.5. The field's slow. It's a soccer field. It's slow. The field is slow. These guys aren't going to be moving as fast. They're not used to the type of grass. It's going to be an under game. But I have Minnesota with the points and under 43.5.
I'm also going to take Minnesota with the points. Last time Jameis was in London, he threw 5 picks. So that's just like automatic L for him. And I'm also going to take the under. The Vikings are probably going to carry the over-under on Sunday morning.
I mean, you got it, Will. Speaking of Jameis in London, I feel like you can't trust Jameis going across seas. He's got to be up to something on Saturday night. That means you got to love Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, no chance he's doing anything on a Saturday night ever. The thing that I don't like about Kirk is that when he grills a steak, he wraps it in tinfoil. That's weird. That's not going to take into play here, though, in London. Love Vikings. Love them with the points. And I do like the under, like you said, even though they're traveling a few days in advance. Just the change of scenery, going to Tottenham. First off, there's no such thing as winning as the home team in Tottenham, and the Saints are the home team. So, yeah, love the Vikings. Everything's adding up.
All right, next game. We're heading back to normal times here. We are going to Atlanta. Cleveland Browns at the Atlanta Falcons. The Browns are favored by 1.5 points. This is kind of odd because the Browns they are away. However, they've been playing very well. I mean, you take away that the catastrophe against the Jets, where they blew that lead, they'd be 3-0 right now. I feel like they've done a good job covering the spread, and they're a team that's going to run the ball. They're a physical team, and I don't think Atlanta can keep up with their physicality. I'm going to take Cleveland here with the points, and I'm going to take the under here at 49.5.
For some reason, when I look at this game, I feel like it's a trap game just because Atlanta's like low-key been playing very well. So I'm going to take Atlanta plus 1.5, and I'll take the under.
Okay. I guess I'll be the third to take the under here. 49.5 is a lot of points. I think the Browns, you're right, Stav, are just going to run it all over them. And I like the Browns to win by 4 or 5 points here. I'm going to take Browns with the points. Nick Chubb over 100 yards as well. And I love the under.
And another thing with this game, when you see the Cleveland Browns, you don't bet the over. Ever.
No.
So
can't.
Maybe when Deshaun Watson comes back, you will. But as of right now, Jacoby Brissett's not an over quarterback. So next,
Jacoby Brissett's better than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, pretty much. So next game on the slate, we have my lock of the week. The Dallas Cowboys are home against the Washington Commanders. The Cowboys are favored by 3.5. Obviously, I'm taking the Cowboys. That's my lock of the week, boys. Off of a huge Monday night win against a very bad Washington Commanders team, against a very bad quarterback in Carson Wentz. I love the Cowboys here, boys, and I got them by winning 10 plus points.
Yeah, I mean, I love that too. That was my pick almost for lock of the week, but obviously we don't want to take the same one. Love the Cowboys. I love the points that they're getting as well. The over is doable. And you know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the over here. Exactly. I think that the Commanders stink. Going into Jerry's world, Carson Wentz stinks. Cowboys by a touchdown. And the over is going to be it. I almost want to put a lock of the week on the over.
Wow, that'd be something. That'd be a change up.
I like it.
But yeah, I also want to mention that I have the over 42.5 points is kind of low for the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders, considering you got to think Cowboys are probably going to be up like 21-0 at halftime. Commanders are going to score some garbage touchdowns, and the Cowboys are still going to score. The Cowboys might hit the over by themselves.
I'm going to go Cowboys as well. And the over, and also like Zeke anytime touchdown.
I like that for me.
All right, next, Griff, I'm going to let you talk about this one.
Okay. So I mean, one of the biggest games of the year for my Seattle Seahawks, going into Detroit, into Ford Field, getting 4.5 points against a team that looked pretty good last week, right? Seahawks coming off a tough loss against Atlanta. The over is set at 48. Is that right?
Yeah,
48. So I mean, I'm gonna start things off. You know, as much of a Seahawks fan as I am, I do like Detroit minus 4.5 because, podcast. Got to throw my bias aside. Detroit minus 4.5, and I love the under in this game. With DeAndre Swift being out, I'm looking forward to seeing how Jamal Williams does, as well as what's his first name? Something Reynolds.
Craig Reynolds.
Craig Reynolds, yes.
Hard Knocks star.
I'm interested to see on how that duo works because those are two backs that I feel like really bounce off each other well because DeAndre Swift is a premier back in this league. He should be getting most of the touches. He doesn't when Jamal Williams is out there. But I like Jamal Williams a lot. He's a good power back, and then you get Craig Reynolds in there as a third down back. I think it'll work out well. 48 points for both the Seahawks and the Lions, though, in my opinion, is a lot. So I'm going to go Detroit -4.5, and I'm going to take the under at 48.
All right. Will, what do you think?
I also like Detroit -4.5, and for some reason, I kind of like the over.
Ooh. So, Will, I'm going to stick with you here. I'm going to take the over just because I think these offenses, I mean, yeah, people think that Geno Smith, whatever. I still think that the Seahawks can put up points. They have a good receiving core. And Detroit has really been an advocate for the overs. I mean, I think every single game that they've played in the season, the over has hit. And I think that's going to continue this weekend. And I am taking Detroit here -4.5 at home. I think that they get back to 500. And Will, you said you're taking Detroit as well, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, next game on the slate, we have the Battle of the Mid. Tennessee at Indianapolis. The Colts are favored by 3 points. I don't. Does someone want to take this one?
I got it. I have both my picks right here. Excuse me. Just straight up because the game is in Indianapolis. I like the Colts -3. I think that both of these teams stink. And I think Malik Willis should be the starting quarterback of Tennessee, but I guess that's why I'm not the head coach. As much as I love Vrabel, I think he just likes Ryan Tannehill too much as a person. I like the Colts here. After a big win, I think they carry that momentum. And with that momentum will also come the over in this game. Even with two tough defenses, I think that Derrick Henry, who kind of lacked last week, will come back. It'll be a bit, not as much of a shootout, but I think we'll get some points up on this board. I love the Colts -3 as well as the over set at 42.5. Well,
I wish I could take the Tennessee Titans +3 with a tie, but I'm going to take the Colts -3 and the under.
Loves the tie. He loves the tie.
Colts -3 and the under for Will. All right. I'm gonna go with the over on this one. I'm just gonna say that. I thought I had my pick for this, but I really don't. In my notes I have all my choices, but I don't know.
It's a bad game. Not a bad game, but it's a tough game to pick. It's a bad game.
It's a bad game.
I think the Colts will figure it out, and I think they're going to continue to figure it out against the Titans after a big win against Kansas City, which no one picked them. So I'm going to say that they pick up on the momentum, even though Tennessee won. It wasn't a good win. I'm gonna ride with the pod here. I'm going the Colts -3. Okay. All right, next game, another interesting game. We have the Chicago Bears at the New York Giants. The Giants are favored by 3.5 points. I like the Giants here, to be honest. I think that they're going to bounce back after a loss. I mean, the Bears stink. They don't throw the ball. Justin Herbert can't throw the ball. They have no faith in him. That whole culture is just not good right now. So I got the Giants -3.5 after a loss on Monday night. Yeah, I apologize. I have the over in this game at 39.5.
I'm going to go the Giants as well, -3.5. I just don't see a world where the Chicago Bears win this game at all. I have the Giants straight up and -3.5. And I'll also take the over. I feel like it's only 39.5. I feel like the Giants can definitely put up some points.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take a little different route here. I like Chicago. I think that Chicago's best part of their team, maybe the only part of their team that's actually halfway decent, is their run defense, and that starts on that defensive line and also their middle linebacker, Roquan Smith, who I think is the best linebacker when it comes to defending the run. I'm going to take them with the points, obviously, and even though it's at 39.5, I'm going to take the under. I think that with Sterling Shepard being out, the Giants are going to have to rely a lot on Saquon Barkley on the ground, And I think that Chicago won't do amazing against them, but I think they'll do pretty good. I'm going to take Chicago plus 3.5. I'm going to take the under as well at 39.5. I think if Chicago wins this game at all, it's going to be a very low-scoring game.
All right. The next game on the slate, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are probably, if not the they're probably the hottest team in the NFL.
They are the hottest team.
Yeah,
they are.
Absolutely.
They are officially, in my opinion, over the Bills because of injuries.
Over the Bills and over the Dolphins. I think a lot of people are putting the Dolphins kind of up in that top tier of the AFC now, and as they deserve to be.
Yeah.
But I think that the Eagles have won their games a lot more convincingly, and they've shown to be a more complete team.
And they helped me with my lock of the week last week.
And I think they're going to continue against a pretty good Jacksonville Jaguars team. I mean, we absolutely shit on the Jaguars to start the season, but they've bounced back. They've had 2 pretty good wins, and they're sitting at 2-1 right now against the 3-0 Philadelphia Eagles. But in Philly, I don't see a guy like Trevor Lawrence even surviving, to be honest. I got the Eagles here, but I'm going to take the Jaguars points at plus 6.5, but I have Philly winning outright.
I would say I like Philly minus 6.5. I think this is going to be an eye-opening experience for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're going to get hit hard. They're going to get hit fast, and this game is going to get ugly really quickly. I'm taking Philly minus 6.5, and I'm hammering the over.
I also am hammering the over.
Will hammering the over, hammering Philly minus 6.5. This is a bet that I'm going to put, like, for real. I really like Philly. I think that, I mean, I wish I took them preseason as a Super Bowl future. I think that Philly has what it takes. It was all down to the quarterback, and Fields is over there doing his thing. He's going to continue to do his thing. Philly minus 6.5. That's a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence has looked pretty good, but he hasn't seen a defense like this yet where there's a lot of speed and there's a lot of size on that defensive line that's going to give the offensive line of Jacksonville a good amount of trouble. And I think Philly's going to go out there, put some points on the board. Jacksonville's going to try to fight back. Philly minus 6.5 and the over. I love it a lot, Will. And I think that this might be the game of the week. I think that Philly might win this game by 7 to 10 points, and it's going to be like a good one of those 7 to 10 points where they maybe kick a field goal late in the game just to kind of seal the deal. I think that this is going to be a very good game.
Also, Christian Kirk, anytime touchdown scorer.
You're riding with the momentum.
I like these props from you, Will.
Yeah.
I like that from you, Will.
He scored a touchdown every week so far.
Oh, so I'm going to take him to not.
All right. Next game on the slate. This is the notes are different from what I have. But anyways, I'll just go with what I have to keep it in order for our spreadsheet. The New York Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Zach Wilson set to return. I think that's what I saw today, which is big news for the Jets. The Jets sitting at 1-2, travel to face that 1-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. I have the Jets with the points and outright here. If Zach Wilson returns, which I think he is, so I'm just going to write it down. So I have the Jets plus 3 here.
4 hours ago.
Yep.
If all goes well during practice, he's set to start.
Yeah, so hopefully all goes well. And I have the over in this game at 41.5.
I actually don't think the Jets will win Zach Wilson's first start of the season. I think it's going to be a shaky one to start with. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh minus 3, and I'll take the under.
Will, I'm going to be right there with you at Pittsburgh minus 3. I think that not only is Zach Wilson's first start going to be shaky, this is a team that likes to throw the ball a lot, and we know what Pittsburgh's defense can do. Obviously, TJ Watt is out, but the pass rush is still very good. They have those safeties over top, and I actually like those corners over in Pittsburgh as well. I think that this is a week where Mitch Trubisky might lose his job, so he's going to play pretty good. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh minus 3 at home, and I'm going to take the under here. I think, no, give me the over. Excuse me. I think that this might be a game that we see both teams in the 20s, and Pittsburgh winning this game by 4 or 5 points. I think it's going to be an ugly one, too.
Yeah, this is going to be
a couple of picks. Zach Wilson, at least 1 interception if we're going player props.
Did you say under, Griff?
Under.
Okay. Good.
Over.
Okay.
Over. I originally took the under.
Okay, that's right. I misheard you for a second.
Yeah,
All right.
talk about
Now the games start to get interesting after kind of this lull to start. But two juggernauts in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills, coming off of a loss, go to Baltimore to face Baltimore Ravens, potential MVP Lamar Jackson playing for his bag. I love this game in general. This is going to be an awesome game. I mean, we know what the Bills are about. We know what the Ravens are about. I saw a stat today. The top 5 fantasy football scorers, it was like number 1, Lamar Jackson, and then it went 2, 3, 4, and then number 5, Lamar Jackson if he didn't throw the ball, which I thought was hilarious. And which is awesome too, just to prove how he's doing it both through the air and on the ground. I think he's totaling 4+ touchdowns every single time he steps on the field. I love the Ravens +3 at home. How can you not? I mean, I don't know who's going to win outright, but this is why we're doing the spreads, boys. I got the Ravens covering the spread here at +3.
I also have the Ravens covering the spread at +3, and I'm also going to take the Ravens straight up on Sunday. I love the Ravens in this game. I don't know what it is. I feel like the Buffalo Bills are getting a little too cocky too quickly. I think they know that they're a juggernaut in the AFC, and I feel like the Ravens are also up there with them, getting ready to destroy their mentality in this game. I also like the over in this game. 51.5 is a lot of points, but these are two teams that can score a lot of points.
Yeah, I have the over as well.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over as well, and I think that this is a game that the Bills lose because of the injuries that we've seen on that defense. And with injuries on defense also comes the love of the over. I love Baltimore money line, so give me the 3 points with that. I'm going to take the over at 51.5. I think if it's not Lamar Jackson winning MVP this year, it's Hurts. I think that those are two of the most exciting quarterbacks in the league right now. And a lot of people are saying that they play very similarly. Just because they run the ball and pass the ball as well does not mean that they play very similarly. I love the way that both of these quarterbacks play. I would love to see that as a potential Super Bowl matchup. I've been saying that this is Baltimore's year. Now, this is a big legit test. At home, you're a home underdog, a team that should win this division with the way that the Bengals have started off. This is going to be a big game for Baltimore. I think Lamar Jackson's kind of going to come out, show why he deserves all this money. They're going to go out, win this game upright. They're going to put up a lot of points as well. Love the over. Love Baltimore +3.
All right, next game on the slate, we have our Los Angeles Chargers going to Houston in a revenge game, but there's some unfortunate news surrounding the Chargers right now as they are placing star defensive end Joey Bosa on the IR. He suffered a significant groin injury in Jacksonville or against Jacksonville. They do expect him to be back this season, though, which is good news. But the Chargers keep suffering big injuries, which stink. But
it happened. It's like even before the Herbert era, during the Phillip Rivers era, this was the same thing. If you play for the Chargers, you're bound to get hurt.
But with that being said, I have the Chargers winning by 14 and covering, obviously, -5.5. This is a big bounce back game, and it's a revenge game because last year, I don't know if you guys remember, the Chargers lost a late in the season game against Houston.
Don't you worry. We remember.
Which kind of hurt their playoff chances. I mean, it killed their playoff chances.
I remember.
I think Justin Herbert's going to walk onto the field, remember what happened, get pissed off, and throw for 5 touchdowns. I have whatever it is, Justin Herbert over passing touchdowns, and I have Keenan Allen. I think he's coming back. I think he's going to score a touchdown. And I also think that Eckler's finally going to get in the end zone, even though he probably has. I just don't think he's playing. He's not playing well. I have him in fantasy. That's why I'm saying this. I think he's going to score 2 touchdowns.
I like that, and for multiple of those reasons, Stav, that is my lock of the week.
And I have the over at 44. I apologize.
I have the Chargers -5.5. It's a revenge game, like you said. It's also a huge comeback game after a very disappointing loss last weekend to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I feel like this is a game where the Chargers are going to come in and light the Houston Texans up. Justin Herbert's going to go out, sling the ball like he always has. Austin Eckler will be activated fully. I feel like he's going to get used on the ground. He's going to get used in the air. He's going to get used everywhere. I have him in the end zone, and I also want to say I have I can't remember his name. That's bad. my bad.
Josh Palmer?
Joshua Palmer in the end zone as well.
All right. Well, I mean, it's going to be a great day on Sunday to bolt up. I have the Chargers. Give me an alternate line at -8.5. I think they win this game by at least double digits. Obviously, for the sake of our own, I'm taking Chargers -5.5. I love the over. You guys have mentioned some names. Two names that I love. First, three. I love Herbert. I think it's over 2.5 right now. I love him to throw at least 3. Eckler, who you said, Stav, you don't know if he's been in the end zone. I know if he has not. Not in the air, not in the ground. This is the week to do it. In a big week, who I'm expecting to come through will, just like you said, Joshua Palmer. I think that if anything, not Joshua Palmer, the other name that I love as well is Mike Williams to score a touchdown.
All right, next game on the slate, the Battle of Mid, the Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers. There's not really much to say about this game. Kyler Murray sucks. There's no Call of Duty Double XP weekend this weekend because the game isn't out. So I got the Cardinals +1.5 here. And I'm also taking the over. I think both of these teams are so mid that they're just going to score garbage time touchdowns, even though it's probably going to be a close game. But they're all going to be garbage time touchdowns because this game is garbage time. So Cardinals +1.5 on the road in Carolina. Excuse me.
I'm going to take Carolina -1.5. I'm also going to take the under. This game stinks. I don't like this game at all. Go Panthers.
The under and Carolina. I don't know. They stink. Both teams stink. Both defenses stink as well. I think that this is going to be a snooze fest. So I'll throw the under over there, and I'll throw some money on Carolina or Arizona. Excuse me, on Arizona. I can't tell. I can't tell if I want Arizona or Carolina.
Yeah, there's not really much to say there.
Final bet. Carolina at home in the under. It stinks. My least favorite. Griffin's least favorite game of the week. That's what we're gonna call it. This game sucks.
So let's move on from it as quick as possible before I start to gag. But I'm not going to get any better here. We have Will and I's New England Patriots traveling to Lambeau Field to face the Green Bay Packers. Packers are favored by 10. That's a lot of points. And I'm taking the Patriots +10 here. I don't think they're going to win. And I'm also taking the under. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game at 40.5. I think it's going to be like 21 to like 13. But yeah, I got the Patriots +10 here. That's a lot of points, and I think my boy Axel Hoyer is gonna carry them to a win. By win, I mean cover.
I'm already disappointed. Yeah, if they cover, it's a win. I'm already disappointed about this game. For some reason, I kind of like Green Bay -10 and the under. I feel like it's just going to be like a 21 to like 10 game, maybe 28-10 game. No, I'm not expecting too much on the Pats.
Well, I like what you're saying over there at 28-10. I think that I might like 35-10 a little more. I'm going to take the Packers -10 as well as the over. Alan Lazard, anytime touchdown scorer. A.J. Dillon, over. I want to say he's usually in the 40s for rushing yards. I think that they're going to run all over this team. And that's going to open up the pass game for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers loves beating the Patriots just because he gets PTSD of playing Tom Brady. What better way to do it than go beat Tom Brady and then the next week beat New England, beat them up. So I'm going to take Green Bay. I'm going to take the over.
And now we're back. We're continuing a mid-streak here. But this was a game preseason we had circled like, oh, damn, this is going to be a good game. We have the Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders. This line is 2.5 here. And I'm going to take Vegas -2.5. They got to get a win at some point. They have talent. They've been close in every single one of their games besides week 1. I love how I'm saying that as if there's been more than 3 games. But, yeah, I got the Chargers. I'm sorry. Why did I say the Chargers? I have the Vegas Raiders getting their first win, and I have them -2.5 here. The Broncos are the worst 2-1 team in the NFL.
Yes.
Mhm.
No, they're not. The Bears are 2-1.
They're worse than the Bears. I'm gonna say they're worse than the Bears, and that's why I love Las Vegas. I think that Denver can't cook up anything on offense, and that's due mostly to coaching, but also a part in thinking Russ is more than he is. Now, Russ, as much as he has done, I've talked about this on many episodes. They're kind of opening the playbook too much for him and being like, okay, go find these receivers. Just go give it to your playmakers. That's what Russ does best. And he's not going to do it. He's going to try to do too much as he always does. And the locker room is clearly not bought into him, but Derek Carr does have that Las Vegas locker room. Even after an 0-3 start, I'm expecting Josh Jacobs to have a pretty good game. It's going to be a very run-heavy game. I'm going to take Vegas, and I'm going to take the under.
Love it, Griff. I was thinking the same thing. I like Vegas -2.5. Also love the under. I just don't like Denver at all.
I think they stink. I mean,
no, I
okay,
really
wait,
do.
wait.
I really
Can
don't
we
think they're
talk
good at
about
all.
where I have them in our preseason predictions? I had them 4th in this division, so I want to say 2-1. They don't earn that. They have not earned that 2-1. I mean, winning a game 11-10 shouldn't count towards your record. This team stinks. This team is
I've been saying
so
that
bad,
they were
and they're
also
going to be at
finishing
the bottom
last.
of the AFC West at the end of this season.
Yeah,
Really.
I hate them as well. They're so boring.
This team is very, like, honestly, and I don't.
They
There's
don't
not even
gel.
like mediocre isn't even like a good word, but like it's a start. They really don't gel. That's it at the end of the day. And I don't really like the Raiders either this year. I don't know what they're doing over there. This is also a very big test game for
Matt Collins, their receiving leader. Matt Collins.
And McDaniels. I don't know what they're going to do with him. If they lose this game,
He's gone.
he's gone. He's getting
Yeah.
fired right
I
after.
I think
the-
that's actually the report. I think that actually got leaked. I'm pretty sure if they lose that game, if they lose this game, then he's gone. Rightfully so. I mean, 0-3, and you just picked up
back to the
Devontae
Pats.
Adams. You just picked up Chandler Jones. It's borderline embarrassing. And that's why I think that they'll come back and they'll beat a tough divisional opponent. I think that these teams evenly match up, and I love Las Vegas.
Yeah. All right. I think we all have the same thing with that one, and I love it. I mean, I think the Raiders, obviously they're talented, right? On both sides of the ball, they have talent. They're gonna figure it out. I think the Raiders are a good team, and I think McDaniels has potential to be a good coach, but he has to stop trying to do the Belichick way in Vegas. That doesn't work if you're not Bill Belichick, and it's not even working if you're Bill Belichick right now. So be yourself, coach the offense well, and realize you have talent. He's trying to do that thing like, oh, earn your spot. I don't care who you are. No, you got Devontae fucking Adams, the best receiver in the NFL, and you're not forcing him the ball. You have Hunter Renfrow, one of the best route runners who had a really good season last year. You got Josh Jacobs, a power back, good. And you're using Brandon fucking Bolden as your premier back. Get out of here, McDaniels. Come on, give the talented guys the ball and let them work. Darren Waller, the same thing. They're not even using him. But they're going to do that this week.
Honestly, it's like I was to say last week, Derek Carr got like 5 balls that went right through his hands. But to be fair, some of those passes were horrible from Carr.
We miss Coach Bisaccia.
Yeah, they need some toughness in that locker room.
Yep. Okay.
All right, Sunday Night Football, boys. This is going to be awesome. I don't care if the Bucs haven't been good the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks, really. But they always rise up to the occasion against Kansas City. This is going to be a great game. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a rematch of Super Bowl 54. The Chiefs are favored by 1 point on the road, but I gotta ride with my quarterback, the GOAT, Tom Brady here. I got Tampa Bay +1 here. I mean, obviously that means they win outright. This is a pick'em game, as it should be, and this is going to be a great game. And I have the over in this game as well. I apologize.
I'm gonna. Honestly, I don't like saying these words at all, but I have Kansas City to win this game, and I also have them. Was it -1 and the over?
I know our viewers have been waiting for my lock of the week. Well, here it is. Kansas City -1 going into Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, a very depleted team. Tom Brady going through some issues at home. I'm not judging him. Those things happen, but they do affect your play on a football field. They do.
Yeah.
They do. Do they not? And it's very clearly shown. He's frustrated at his teammates, and that relates right back to his home life. It may be tough, and that's where I take advantage of Kansas City -1. Love Kansas City in this game. I love the over as well. Stamp it. That's my lock of the week. The Chiefs -1. Anytime touchdown scorer, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Leonard Fournette.
All right.
Leonard, he has to score.
He has to score. And if I have to pick a prop, I'm going to go Mike Evans, touchdown, just to bounce back, just to prove.
Is he back?
Yeah, because he was only suspended that one game.
Okay, I still made my bet suspecting that he was back.
Okay, yeah, but, I mean, he's going to prove to Tom Brady, like, that, yeah, that was a one-game suspension. I got you, and Tom Brady's going to be like, thanks for preventing me from getting my ass kicked, so here's a touchdown pass.
If Tom Brady got in a fight with Marshawn Lattimore wins that 10 out of 10 times.
Well, yeah, Tom Brady's like 60. I hope Marshawn Lattimore wins. All right.
Marshawn Lattimore's a dog, too.
Monday Night Football. The Los Angeles Rams going to San Francisco. 49ers are favored in this game, which I kind of think is surprising. I got the 49ers here, -1.5, but I got the under at 42. The Rams' offense has not been cooking at all. Neither has the 49ers, but I think if it's a defensive battle, it does benefit the 49ers right now, just because the Rams really haven't been clicking any side of the ball. So I get the 49ers -1.5, the 49ers -1.5, and I got the
49ers.
I like the 49ers too, -1.5. I hate the Rams. I don't think they're good at all this year. I mean, obviously they had some high hopes. I feel like they still have a lot of time to figure it out. But right now, I just don't see them figuring it out. And I think this is a good win for the 49ers and Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'll take the under at 42.
If I were to pick any line in this game, it would most definitely be the under. I feel like this should be more of a pick 'em, and I guess it kind of is at 1.5. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think at some point they got to show something. I think they do it this week. I like the Rams even more that you guys picked San Fran. I picked San Fran last week. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think that Cooper Kupp gets it done, and Trent Williams being out is very much so going to hurt that offensive line. So I'm going to go with the Rams. I think that this will be a pretty good Monday Night Football game, though.
I like the variety that we have in this week, to be honest.
Yeah.
There hasn't been many games where we straight up pick the same winner. I mean, there's obviously a few that's going to happen, or not the winner, the spread. There's going to be a few where that happens, but I love the variety here. And I think with the spreads, it makes things a little bit easier. However, I love our picks, boys. I really think that anything can happen this week. This week will hopefully be better than last week's slate. I mean, like we say, there's no such thing as a bad slate, but there's a lot of good matchups here. I mean, like my game of the week, obviously, in Buffalo at Baltimore. That's going to be sick. Obviously, Sunday Night Football, Super Bowl rematch, Monday Night Football, divisional rivals. So we're going to see what happens, boys. I'm excited for week 4. And, yeah, that wraps it up for me.
Will you have any closing remarks, or are you ready for me to take it out?
All I'm saying is I'm ready to bolt up on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a great victory Monday for the Bolts here. We hope you guys enjoyed. It's gonna be a jam-packed week 4. Stav, thank you for throwing it up to me. Thank you to my Wi-Fi finally coming back strong. It was a big battle against my Wi-Fi on our last date of recording, but I'm glad to say that war has officially been won. I won that by unplugging it for 30 seconds and then plugging it back in, and it's been going very strong since then. So I call it all reliable. You're right, Stav. We hope you guys enjoyed. All jokes aside, we will catch you guys on Tuesday. Enjoy some football this weekend, and peace.
Peace.
Peace.